At my previous job, I did something incredibly stupid.
Hi, I'm Jimmy from Folkestone, Georgia. Let's talk about that.
Good Mythical Morning!
This episode is brought to you by Catulas.com, the guys with the goods.
If you like any of the products that we've talked about, any of them, you can get a free Catulas catalog. Follow the link in the description, and you can get this thing sent to your house for free. Link, it's free.
For free, and this is a brand new catalog. Click on the link below or go to Catulas.com. Thanks for joining us today. You are truly mythical, which is just it's just a compliment. Take it as a compliment. Take it as you will, hopefully as a compliment.
A lot of people ask, what does that mean? Well, I don't know. It means what you make it mean. Mythical.
Yeah. Lots of questions are asked of us throughout time and eternity because the internet is full of ways to communicate with us. That's the beauty of it.
The beauty of the internet is the communication.
It's the give and take of constant conversation. One of the questions that we get a lot from you people out there is this what you do for a living? Make videos like this?
And in fact, when we asked yesterday again, we're opening it up to new sponsors, and somebody commented on Facebook and they said, well, how much does it cost to make Good Mythical Morning? Well, it's not the cost of making Good Mythical Morning. This is what we do for a living. It's the cost of putting a food into my mouth and I don't actually put food into Link's mouth, but we also get food that goes into our children's mouth. They like to eat. They like to be nutritionized.
So yes, this is what we do. We entertain you people. But in past times, we had other jobs.
Yes, we did.
Believe it or not, we both have engineering degrees. Rhett has a civil engineering degree. I have an industrial engineering degree.
Really? Not a joke.
We'd like to take this opportunity to begin telling you some stories from our time as engineers. And I'm going to start.
I'm going to tell mine tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Unless mine goes really short.
I don't feel like...
And then you can share it today.
These can be contained in one episode. So we're going to give them their own episode.
Now, as an industrial engineer graduating from NC State, I was taught how to not make things, but to design and optimize how things are made. Specifically, I got a job at IBM.
Which is very consistent with your personality.
It is. It really is. I like to know or figure out the best way to do every single thing.
And he tries to tell me all the time if he sees me like doing something in this office here, he's like, you know what? Let me do that for you. You're not throwing away the trash correctly. You're not holding the bag correctly. You're not walking with the right posture. I'm used to it. It's okay.
I say it because I care.
Okay.
That I only do it because I care. IBM paid me to do it, and I began to care that their production line was as most efficient as it possibly could be.
International Business Machines?
International Business Machines. At the particular plant that I worked at, this sprawling location warehouse, all indoors because computers don't like to get wet. They would bring in, it was a refurbishing facility, so they would bring in old computers, desktops, laptops, and monitors that had been used. And they would either come in on, I don't care how they came in, but they came in, they'd be repaired, fixed up, polished, and then resold as a refurbished unit.
Polished?
They would, at one of the final stages was polishing.
There's like a shoe shiner guy at the end of the line. He's like, step right up.
Except it was a computer or a computer screen, not a shoe. Shoes were not involved, except that the people who worked there wore them.
I'm just trying to put it in layman's terms so you don't lose the people.
At the end of the process, they would put the computer or the computer monitor into a box and then tape the box shut. And then they'd ship it out to someone who wanted to buy a cheaper refurbished unit.
Is there like a spot online to buy these refurbished computers?
Probably. That's not my point, though. My point is, I got this job fresh out of college. I was a greenhorn, as they say. And that's what they call engineers.
They say that?
No, not really. Engineers who don't know anything. My first assignment was to redesign a particular portion of the manufacturing line where they would box up the unit and then put it on a pallet to ship out.
Make it more efficient.
So I redesigned the conveyor belts, and the conveyors used to come in through this door, and then they would hang a hard right, and in order to package it up, you'd have to crawl over the conveyor, and it wasn't safe, and it wasn't efficient, blah, 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 blah. Needless to say, I redesigned the whole conveyor system, And then one night,
You were like the mastermind.
I was the mastermind of probably the least important part of the.
Why'd you quit doing that and start working with me?
I don't know. I ask myself that multiple times a day,
That's what I'm wondering.
sometimes out loud. Have you ever heard me?
It was like a consistent paycheck that you could count on.
But one night, we had to stop production, and everybody went home except for the people working on the conveyor belts, and they were going to reconfigure them. And I had to come in and, okay, I'm an engineer. I'm going to be here. I'm going to supervise this thing, make sure they do it how I say.
What are you wearing at this time?
I'm wearing like a golf shirt. I could have left and gone golfing the next morning.
Tucked in? Like the shirt is tucked in?
The shirt was tucked in.
I want to be able to picture this.
Yeah. And so, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. They're fixing the conveyor belts and everything. I'm getting bored. Meanwhile, there's a whole rest of the facility that's not even working. Nobody's in there. And I took it as my opportunity to go and do what I always wanted to do. The maintenance men had these bicycles with 3 wheels. I guess you call them tricycles.
Yeah, usually.
They would take parts around, and it was a big facility, so they could take them around really quickly, ride the bikes, zoom, 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 taking parts different places, fixing things.
Are you wearing khakis at the time?
I'm wearing khakis and a golf shirt tucked in.
Khaki shorts or khaki full?
Khaki pants and shoes. I decided to get on one of these bikes, and I was bored. It's 3 a.m. Everyone was in another room where they were fixing my design. So I go to the other parts of the facility, and I just start riding this bike.
And it's got pedals. It's not like a throttle.
It's just a normal bicycle, except it's got 3 wheels.
It's an adult tricycle.
Yes, with a big basket on the back.
On the back.
And I see that these maintenance men, they just zoom, 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 going everywhere on this thing. So I decide I'm going to do that. And I'm just having a ball for about an hour. Just
no one is in there.
Nobody is anywhere. I'm going through the warehouse. I'm going through the manufacturing facility.
You got your shirt tucked in. You got on khakis.
And I'm going around all these things. Now, I'm just having a blast. And then I get to this.
Sounds like it.
I'm going around where they bring in the monitors off of the trucks. These are the broken ones, the ones that aren't totally fixed yet.
The portal.
And they put them on pallets, right? You got this big 4x4, about as big as this table, wooden pallet, about this far through. You've seen a wooden pallet.
I've seen many pallets.
Well, depending on the size of monitors, they put 4 or 6 monitors on a pallet. Mm-hmm. And I'm zooming around everywhere, having a blast. Did I mention?
We've established that you're having fun.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, I careen around this corner, and I realize that there is this massive pallet of monitors right in my path.
Does it have brakes? Does this thing have brakes?
And so then I'm going so fast, I start to panic, and I try to do the brakes by pedaling backwards.
That is how tricycles work when you're a kid.
Right. But this one, it had hand brakes.
You went back,
but I didn't know
You
it.
went back
Right.
into child on tricycle mode.
So just picture me in what I was wearing, which is fully established, and I'm pedaling backwards as hard as I can, and nothing is happening. I am careening towards this pallet of computer monitors.
Are you skidding? Is the wheel going backwards and it's just lost all grip?
No, the braking mechanism had nothing to do with pedaling backwards. I was increasing speed. I must have been going downhill.
You were failing to stop.
Yeah, and I was just panicking. I never realized that I could get this handbrake. I don't know.
What is this contraption?
I had an engineering degree, but it had nothing to do with riding a 2-wheeled tricycle or a 3-wheeled bicycle.
3-wheeled.
I didn't even know how to identify the mechanism.
Yeah. See the problem here.
I blast directly into this pallet going full speed.
Now, these boxes have monitors in them.
These are not boxed monitors. These are open to the air monitors, 4 on a pallet.
But they're already kind of broken a little bit.
And when they're all together, they're just old.
Yeah, they don't work right.
And I go through them like a bowling ball through bowling pins. 2 go that way, 2 go that way, and I'm like, boom. The pallet is, it's probably 5 inches tall. So I hit that thing, and I fall off of the bike too.
And this makes a noise, I assume.
Oh yeah, huge, huge sound. And of course, it's one of those things where I immediately got up. No one was in it. I immediately got up, make sure no one's looking for me, and I get back on the bike. I run and I scramble and I put all the monitors back up there, and then I start riding and I realize the front wheel is totally flat.
Oh.
So no one saw me, but I was faced with a dilemma. Should I tell the maintenance guy who was in the other room helping with the construction? So I left the bike there. I put the monitors back, and I would love to see the security footage. I know somewhere out there exists security footage because the place is just covered in cameras, so you wouldn't steal monitors. I would love to see that footage.
But you okay? So you leave the bike somewhere?
So I leave the bike and I go back there and I go up to this maintenance guy who's helping with the project and say, I must have run over something because the tire is flat.
I must have run over 4 monitors stacked.
I mean, they had to
pallet.
refurbish the monitors anyway. It's not like they were at the end of the line and about to be boxed up.
So you at least admitted
I
that
gave
you
him
had
something-
been riding it. Because you could have said, "Hey man, I caught a glimpse of your trike, and it looks like the front wheel's out."
Yeah. I didn't want to.
And so,
But it was stupid of me. I mean, here I am, a college graduate. I have an engineering degree. I'm in charge of this thing, and here I'm riding a bike around like a kid, destroying property.
well,
What an idiot!
Apart from the wreck, I feel like you're completely justified because I mean, you're doing this job that I assume got old after a while, and you're just letting off some steam.
Yeah, man,
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a tricycle. Get on it.
Yeah.
Ride it around. Run into some computers with it.
Thanks, Rhett. It makes me feel better.
And listen, if you had on shorts, it would be one thing, but you look professional. You look semi-professional.
I'd love to see the security.
You weren't like in a suit. You look like a guy that's a little bit serious, a little bit fun, Tucked in, shirt, khaki pants. Let's spin the wheel and see how we're going to end this thing.
What an idiot!
I'm going to start dressing like that.
Tucking in your shirt,
Wearing
You've already
khakis,
You got a collared shirt on.
but
there.
it's not tucked in. I'm going to start tucking it in.
Oh, you almost got Rhett dies.
Sportscaster ending. Well, Link, this has been one heck of an episode.
Yes, it has. Look at the field of play. It's just in shambles.
This Link Neal guy, he's just an amateur. You wouldn't think he would be so amazing on one of these tracks, but
MVP of the evening.
every once in a while, things get out of control. It happens to the best of us. He didn't have his best day today. That's okay. It's a little bit fun,
I'm giving him the MVP.
a little bit serious. And if you're a little bit fun and a little bit serious, we're hoping you'll come back tomorrow, same time, same place. Well, I don't know where that place is, but it is somewhere on the internet.
Hopefully it won't be rained out.